Welcome back to Technology Behind Business. Well, overpromising and under-delivering, that's been the problem so far with gesture control solutions that have tried to replace the mouse and keyboard as a way for us to interact with our PCs. But now there's a new player in town. It's called the Leap Motion. It's getting quite a lot of attention, and our next guest, Krishan Sharma, has taken it for a test drive. So how does it work in practice? Well, Krishan joins us now from our Brisbane studio. Krishan, I'm quite intrigued about this device. The marketing seems to be really well done. The YouTube videos look quite flash. How was it to use in practice?
Yeah, you're right. The demo videos look amazing. In actual use, unfortunately, it falls well short of the mark, particularly when concerned with the actual tracking of your hands. The tracking is very inconsistent. The device is designed to be able to not only track the movements of your hands, but the movement of your individual fingers as well. So it was very much billed as a offering unparalleled precision in terms of the tracking ability, and unfortunately, it just falls well short of the mark.
So we've got some pictures up now, so people can actually see what it looks like. Essentially, it's controlling your computer without using your hands at all. What for you, though, after using this for some time, was the biggest positive? What really worked?
Sure. I mean, look, there are areas where it definitely the gesture controls shone through. Particularly, I think, with applications that involve navigating 3D environments such as Google Earth. So, using gesture controls to navigate the globe and zooming in on cities, and felt very precise, very intuitive, very fluid, more than what you could get, from a mouse and keyboard even. So, I mean, and certainly sort of manipulating 3D objects as well. There's another application called Cyber Science 3D, I believe. So basically, it's an educational app that's designed to, the premise is that you take a 3D skull, and you zoom in and all these sort of angles, and then the idea is you dissect it and take it apart and learn about how it fits all together. And that all worked great because, again, it's manipulating a 3D object using motions with your hands. But soon as finger tracking was required, so for example, to initiate a selection on a part of a skull, for example, you're meant to make a movement with your thumb, and unfortunately, that's where the experience falls away because
so not
the actual
accurate
device.
Yeah,
exactly. I mean, the acclaimed precision, I mean, we're talking about 0.01 millimetre level of precision here. At least that's what the acclaim is. And there are moments where it does exactly that, and with no lag whatsoever, and it's very impressive. But for the most part, at the moment, as the product as it stands at the moment, it's just not quite where it needs to be.
Okay, and I think my hands would get quite tired moving around like that all the time as well. I think voice is still the preferred way for us to interact with our machines. We haven't got there yet. Now, I want to ask you about Phablets, these combined phone and tablets, and Sony has put out one, and they seem to be gaining in popularity, which I'm a bit surprised at. Tell us about the Sony Xperia.
Yeah, look, it's something, this whole phablet category, it really started with with Samsung with the Galaxy Note series of smartphones, which basically is a cross between a smartphone and a tablet in terms of the screen size being between 5 to 7 inches. And usually they come with some sort of stylus, but how Sony approached it when they entered the market with the Xperia Z Ultra is that basically instead of having a dedicated stylus, you're able to use any pencil or pen as the stylus. And it's a 6.1-inch smartphone, or phablet if you like. The device just came out. I mean, Sony's offering just came out, so we haven't seen the sales figures on those yet. But certainly with the Galaxy Note series, it's been very popular, and it's really sort of created its own product category in a sense with the whole phablet product category.
Yeah, I still can't get quite used to holding up such a big device next to my ear, using it as a phone, although I do appreciate the big screen when I see it. So I can see the benefits, but
the
usability.
recommended accessory for any phablet would be definitely a Bluetooth headset or a hands-free, because you don't want to use that in public, making calls. But look, I mean, in terms of being a viable productivity tool, there's definitely opportunity there, because you could imagine that sort of screen size being very handy for it to sort of take notes, multitask between apps. So, for example, you can have two apps side by side on the screen. So, really taking advantage of that extra screen real estate.
Okay, Krishan, we do have to unfortunately leave it there. But thank you for the update on those products.
Sure.
We'll see if we can get
Sure.
one of those Sonys in on the show as well. Thanks, Krishan.
No worries. Thanks, Nigel.
Well, after the break, the Aussie startup HotelClub.com has a new strategy in place. But will it be enough to save the business or turn it round? We'll speak to their CEO next.